Hello everyone, Mia here from Resonance Astrology and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at the astrology of the week ahead of November 10th to November 16th of 2025. And this week we are starting off with the moon still being in the sign of Cancer, which is very much amplifying the strong water trines that are still lingering and still forming and shaping the cosmos above. And obviously, as above, so below. So it is affecting us as well. I think it is a more reflective, emotional tone to start off this week that gradually picks up the heat. And I do also still really want to remind you that yes, Saturn and Neptune are so back in the sign of Pisces, and so many people currently right now are feeling very hopeless. We got to think of it this way, okay? Neptune has a lot to do with the realm of imagination, obviously Pisces as well. Saturn together with Neptune really stifles that. It sets boundaries, or it makes it just very hard to go to that. It restricts the realm of imagination. And so that hopeful tone that Pisces usually carries is hard to reach or feel into right now. It does really feel like we are restricted with that, which is why it is so easy right now to follow or fall into the realm of hopelessness, of nihilism, and just not really knowing where the future is leading us, okay? Especially Saturn in Pisces is very much in the realm of melancholy, and it's in Saturn and Neptune in the sign of Aries. In the Mars ruled sign, there is obviously still the same component, but it is a Mars ruled sign. Aries is a Mars ruled sign. So there is a feeling of, but I must do something about it. I have to step up. I need to take my power back. In Pisces, we kind of land in the realm of coping with this association, of overwhelm, of escapism. It's just too much. I don't want to deal with it. And I do just want to mention that. A lot of people are currently feeling this way. They're asking me, Mia, what is happening? What is going on? This is going on. This is going on. And I do just really want to emphasize the importance of staying grounded and discerning between compassion and avoidance right now, because this is up in the air. And Neptune is gonna go back into the sign of Aries end of January, and Saturn is moving back into the sign of Aries February 14th in 2026. So we still have a few more months with both of them being back in the sign of Pisces. The other tension that we are also currently feeling right now is Uranus moving back into the sign of Taurus. Uranus does not do well in the sign of Taurus. They just don't go hand in hand. Uranus is a very restless, erratic energy, wants to do things all at once, everywhere all at once, wants to do all things, be all things. Taurus is the archetype of slowness, of indulgence. And so they don't mix well together. And Uranus going back into Taurus over this weekend and Mercury stationing retrograde, I feel like for a lot of people has been harder than usual, because it's hard to discern how slow or fast things should be going right now. And in case you didn't notice, I did put up a whole Mercury retrograde survival guide up, which I hope can help you and assist you. It's really about dissecting the mercurial archetype and how you can be in relationship with Mercury and how you can use Mercury retrograde periods for your benefit, because I truly believe they are very necessary. I think this weekend just felt very chaotic because Uranus also moved back into the sign of Taurus, and I was so tired. Gosh, on Sunday, I woke up, I was so extremely tired. I'm wondering if anyone has been feeling the same. It was just so hard to do something and to get my mind being fully present and active. And I think we're still coming off of that wave. So this is, I think, what we're still taking in from the weekend and what is happening. We're processing. And when Mercury is retrograde, like, this is what I really, really love about Mercury retrogrades, is that it forces us to pause and rethink, reflect, reorganize, all the re's, because we can actually, like, it's almost like a sigh, like a breather that we can finally take. And I really like that. There have actually been some technical things I have been clearing up yesterday, and I was like, oh, that is Mercury. It had something to do with some money issues and stuff that happened, which, like, way back in 2023, and I kind of forgot about it and I didn't want to take any action, but now I actually did, and I wrote a mail, and it really felt like I'm taking back my power, and Mercury's retrograde in Sagittarius in my second house, which has to do with my money and my values. So yes, again, I think Mercury retrogrades are extremely productive periods if you let them be what they need to be. So anyhow, watch that video if you want more information. I'm gonna put it up here, but it's also gonna be linked down below. I really want it to be a useful guide that anyone can watch anytime. When there is a Mercury retrograde happening, especially also because I have a whole segment there where you can find out how every Mercury retrograde that is happening now or in the future is going to affect you specifically, or how you can know which one is going to affect you more and which one is not going to affect you so much, because not all Mercury retrogrades are going to be the same for everyone. Anyhow, talking about retrogrades, on Tuesday, November 11th, Jupiter stations retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So Jupiter is turning more inwards. Faith and hope become a more internal process. I do think Mars being in Sagittarius right now has a bit of a, like, candle in the dark type of moment right now. And also, of course, it's still Scorpio season. There is... yeah, I think both of these signs are just, like, they're kind of pulling us through right now. Exactly. And I think it's, when Jupiter turns retrograde, I think it amplifies, obviously, Saturn and Neptune being in the sign of Pisces, since Pisces is ruled by the sign of Jupiter. So it dampens the thresholds and everything, and makes it even harder to form beliefs, and that's why I chose in my notes to put this image of having this candle lit in a dark room, because when everything is lit up, we kind of take it for granted, but when you're in a dark room and you light but one candle, it's so powerful. You see the power of one light, what light can do. And we're not in Sagittarius season yet. We're going to have a Mars-Mercury conjunction in the sign of Sagittarius on Thursday this week, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But I think Sagittarius is really the archetype of hope dies last. We have to continue doing the things and hoping and believing. So despite that currently feeling stifled, I urge you to just keep that archetype in mind and to light your candles. Maybe it's a more internalized process. Maybe it's not so much out there in the world of doing things right now, but it's more about setting up that altar and every night saying your prayers, saying your intentions. Because again, there isn't so much action oriented focus right now doing things. It's more coming back to oneself. And so the best is to not fight the currents of the cosmos, because if you fight what's above there, then you feel like life is working against you. And disaster, comes from disastare, which means going against the stars. So if you're going against the stars, you're creating disaster in your life. And that's what we want to avoid. Even if the astrology is rough, I feel like there is... I'm not sure if silver lining is the right word for this, but definitely I feel like I can always kind of find a silver lining if I'm knowing that it's reflecting what I'm going through. Like, yes, like I'm in the trenches with you guys, okay? Like I'm feeling pretty hopeless about things right now as well. And yet at the same time, it gives me peace knowing that it's part of the process right now. So that is what I think is important. I want to hammer in your little brains. Yes, so again, now we're going to talk about the Mars-Mercury conjunction that is happening in the sign of Sagittarius. This is one of 3 conjunctions. I mean, it's the second one. We already had the first one in the sign of Scorpio. This one, I think, is the hardest one out of all 3 of them, because the other 2 times, Mars is in a good position. Mars in Scorpio is in its domicile, and Mars in Capricorn, where this is going to happen. The final time is exalted. Here, Mars doesn't have any dignity, and Mercury is in its detriment, and also retrograde. So it's just double harsh. And it's, for me, this day, and especially this week, Mercury in Sagittarius generally has a bit of trouble about being a bit too blunt and having a sharp tongue. So be careful with impulsive statements and dropping truth bombs for the sake of dropping truth bombs. I cannot speak. Truth bombs, because you might regret what you say later. Sometimes Mercury in Sag speaks before they think. It's a very direct and fast planet if you have that natally. I would know. So do be a bit more careful how you're speaking, just because, like, for your own sake, you might just regret saying things in a certain way, or you might come across not the way you want to, like crusader type of, like, I'm gonna tell you my beliefs, like I'm gonna stand up for my truth, and like not realizing that everybody kind of has their own truth. Maybe even depending on where you are emotionally in your cycle right now, the truth might be changed and fluctuate. So it is a reminder that truth is a concept. There's a whole video I did when Mercury was squaring Jupiter, talking about like truth and what that is. So I don't want to go into too much detail in here, but I do think it's important to just keep that in mind. Obviously, this is amplified even more because the ruler of Sagittarius as well is Jupiter, a Jupiter that has just stationed retrograde at that time. So again, you may feel called out to defend your beliefs, but context and timing matter. Otherwise, you might just be misunderstood when it really does not need to happen. I have that image where that happens on reality TV shows a lot, and I don't even really watch reality TV. But it has a very Mercury and Sag quality, to be completely honest. But so many times, right, things happen and clips are taken out of context. And this can really damage someone's reputation or the way somebody is perceived. And this really feels like that retrograde. So do be careful in how you are calling out someone or defending yourself, especially when it comes to like beliefs and what you're standing for and what you think is your truth. Exactly. We also have, anyways, this already happens on Monday, but Moon is in Leo. Monday evening, Tuesday, on Wednesday, we have the last quarter moon in the sign of Leo. And then later on, Thursday, Moon moves into the sign of Virgo. I do think that Moon in Leo adds a bit of fire to the heat, or adds a bit more heat to the fire. So, yes, that I do just want to add that as well. There might be a bit, it might add a bit of extra tension to everything I just said. And then, as already mentioned, the moon then moves into Virgo, and later on Saturday, November 15th, the moon moves into the sign of Libra, and there aren't really any major transit during that time. I mean, of course, the moon is always forming aspects. This is always happening. But there aren't any outer interplanetary transits that are going on to each other. Of course, everything I mentioned is going to be up in the air, is going to be influencing everything. It's never quiet up in the sky. There's always things going on. I'm laughing because sometimes people come to me and they're like, there's always so much going on with the astrology. And I'm like, yes, the cosmos doesn't sleep. There's always things going on. And that's why I kind of always have to be up to date. And this is really also why I'm doing this weekly overviews, because it's like you have to know what is happening. Like you have to know the story of the week before. And then we also continue. I usually give a preview of the next week just briefly so we can continue the story, okay? Astrology in a way really always reminds us that I think beginnings and endings are endless or infinite. There's constantly different timings for everyone, when someone should start something, when someone should end something. And that is, for me, is really beautiful. This is really why I love astrology. And it also kind of forces us to observe, to be aware of what is going on, to sharpen our intuition and to sharpen our vision, so we can actually see what is happening. Because oftentimes transits show up in our lives, but we don't realize that this is a transit showing up in our life. It's not always very loud. It's not always a promotion or a relationship beginning or ending or something like that. Sometimes it's just like a very normal and mundane thing. Like for me, all of a sudden yesterday remembering, oh, what was that thing that like happened to me where I kind of lost money, that like wasn't right a few years ago. You know, it's not like super crazy or significant, but yet that was my transit. And so it really forces us to keep our eyes peeled open. And that's what I really, really, really love. Yes. Also, November 16th, by the way, it's my birthday. It's my birthday weekend this weekend. I'm going to turn 28, and I'm excited for that, for my solar return. So, yes, if you want to wish me any birthday wishes, feel free to do so in the comments. And this is what's happening for me. So I am looking forward. I'm actually enjoying that this weekend isn't super crazy or loud. I think last month it was just the Taurus full moon or something. So yeah. And so again, preview of next week, we're gonna have Sun in Scorpio trining Jupiter and Saturn. This obviously reactivates the grand water trine. We're also having Mercury retrograde re-entering the sign of Scorpio and opposing Uranus this time, because Uranus is now officially back into the sign of Taurus. We also have a Scorpio new moon on November 20th next week, coinciding also with the Mercury Sun Cazimi moment. And Sagittarius season begins next week as well, around November 22nd. So, but this is everything we're going to talk about next week. Yes. And I just have one announcement that I want to make, which I think is a very, very exciting announcement. We have here in Germany, I mean, not in Germany, in Switzerland, but in the German language. See, I have to be careful how I'm saying things. In the German language, we call them the Rauhnächte. And there is really not a one-to-one translation for them, but some people call them the Holy Nights. It's a time from Christmas, so the night from December 24th till the night of, like when you go to sleep, and then midnight. It actually technically starts on the 25th of December. This is the first holy night, and there's 12 of them. And each of these 12 holy nights represents 1 month of the upcoming year. And it's really also a practice to get you in tune, to observe, to see what is happening, what is going on, what are the dreams that I'm dreaming. And for the past 4 years, I have been doing collages. And this for me is really to just spike that up even more. It's not vision boards, it's just intuitive collages where you take out your scissors, your glue stick, and your magazines, and the goal is really to just open things up and take whatever seems fitting, any sentences, any images, all of that, and just like glue it onto that piece of paper. And then you will have 12 collages which you can store somewhere, and then each month you can take out the new one and see if there's anything that like kind of resonates or is coming back during that time. And I'm gonna do a collaboration with a friend of mine, with Josie from Soul Dancers, this year, which kind of just happened, and I'm actually very excited to not do it alone. At first I just wanted to offer it alone to everyone, and it's really a process that I've just been doing this privately for the past 2 years. This is the first time that I am inviting others along the journey, and I wouldn't be inviting you if this isn't something that I 100% stand behind and haven't been doing personally. Like, everything that I'm going to pour into this is from my personal experience and love and dedication to this time. It's also, this year I'm going to fully log off during these 12 holy nights. I want to be fully present. I think it's really the best during that time to not be on social media and fully focus on what is happening in dream realms. What are the downloads that are going on? Observing every day which people, what conversations are you having? Which people are you meeting? What are the feelings you're having throughout the day? Because all of this is going to give you insights into the upcoming months. And I've had so many crazy synchronicities you wouldn't believe. and so this process is really, I'm offering this because, like, I would do it anyways. And now I just feel like, why not do it together with other people who want to join as well? And so if this is something that you would like to be a part of, we're going to do we're going to film a video. We're going to record a video tomorrow, and we're going to upload it maybe tomorrow or on Wednesday or sometime throughout this week, just so people can get a bigger and better understanding of what exactly this is and what exactly we're going to do. And so stay excited for that. This is what we're going to offering. It's something I look forward to every year. Like, I've become so passionate about the 12 holy nights, or the Rauhnächte as we call them here. I think it's really a wonderful time to tune in to yourself and download glimpses and insight in what the year ahead holds for you. So this is what I have for you guys this week. A rather short episode, but it's cool, right? 1 week where we don't have so much to talk about. So this is what I have for you, and I wish you a lovely time, and we're gonna see each other soon. Bye. Much love.